Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind.
Hi Posh Fam. Very quickly, there are some hot topics, viral trending news that has trended in the last 24 to 48 hours. And I want to quickly run this commentary before they become stale. Very quickly, thank you so much to my latest subscriber. Thank you for joining the Posh Fam train. Go through my playlist and see what you like. Continue to subscribe and stay tuned and stay locked into this channel. Share this channel with your friends so they can come enjoy what you find interesting here. With that said, let's get into all that happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. Guys, the house of P. Diddy has sort of crumbled on itself like a pack of cards. I would like to give you to share some devastating breaking news that happened less than 24 hours in Baltimore, Maryland. And I'm going to share its CNN or TMZ video clip very quickly.
Collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, causing major damage. Video obtained by CNN shows the bridge collapsing into the water below. We have no information yet on deaths or injuries. Maryland authorities say all traffic is being detoured around the area. Large ship has collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
Keys Bridge, an iconic bridge in Baltimore, coming apart on itself. Now, we don't know exactly what has happened to have caused this collapse. We do, however, can tell you that a ship sort of lost power and ran through this bridge and just caused this massive carnage. I'm not sure, I don't understand. Like, shouldn't ships be in the know of what the height limit is in terms of an overpass? Now, there is something sinister going on here, because I would think this particular cargo vessel would apply this route a number of times, and so should know the meters in height to be able to see if their container can go through this particular bridge. So I'm a very skeptical person, so I am thinking there is something not quite right with this particular accident. There's loss of life. A police officer, I think, has been retrieved alive, thank God. 6 others are still missing. Apparently work was underway on the bridge when it caved. So seriously, my heart goes out to those families who are going to be seeking answers in this tragic situation that's unfolding before our eyes. Now, with that said, let's get into the very viral news that trended overnight or the last 24 hours in America. I'm again going to share some of these clips so you get an insight as to what I'm talking about. Here it goes.
At the time that DHS, or Department of Homeland Security, made entry into this mansion and onto this property, and you saw the juxtaposition of these heavily armed vehicles and those very expensive luxury cars that are parked right on that driveway right there. So clearly a very different sight than we're used to seeing. But there you see some of the people that were inside that mansion at the time of the raid. They are being talked to by investigators, by people from the Department of Homeland Security. Tragic. I could see they're getting their pictures taken as well. So maybe they don't know who they're looking for or who they have in front of them.
Area. That's his home that you see right there, and now it has a command post out front, and that command post belongs to Homeland Security. You have a number of armored vehicles, most of them belonging to Homeland Security. Got one there, a couple of them in the driveway as well. We did see one, I believe it was a sheriff's vehicle, that has since left the area, but there's still a number of that Homeland Security officers out there, and I'm talking about the soldiers. I'm talking about the boots on the ground type of guys that are still here, and I would venture to say probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 of them. And then you also have younger guys, probably, investigators. And then you also have some suits that arrived eventually, and they all made their way inside that hills area. That's his home that you see. About the soldiers. I'm talking about the boots on the ground.
Very significant development here, seeing this law enforcement action taking place. I'll point out, just to be clear at the outset, we don't know that Sean Diddy Combs himself is the subject or target of a federal investigation. So it's just worth pointing that out at this hour. But what we do know is that two properties associated with him, we saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage, federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. That is it, confirming that they are conducting what they're deeming law enforcement action, which could indicate search warrants being conducted there, could indicate arrests being conducted. We just don't know at this hour specifically what that law enforcement.
And I know some of you who probably would have missed, I'm just saying, because I know everyone would on planet Earth would have saw how this was going to unfold. Like, we all saw how this was going to unfold when the breaking news about Cassie seeking or filing a civil suit against Diddy, alleging a lot of heinous crime that I don't know if I can say on YouTube. Now, there was a lot of sexual misconduct. There was a lot of allegation involving sex trafficking, human trafficking, DRUG related type situation, RAPE, allegations mitigated against P.Diddy by Cassie. Now, no sooner had Cassie filed that lawsuit, Diddy settled out of court and paid her off. They both claim innocence. One said his paying out of court, or P.Diddy's alleged his paying out of court was not admission to guilt, while Cassie said, yeah, she got what she needed and she felt satisfied in the outcome and hope, that she's going to heal. Now, and then we all heard that there were investigations for this particular event. The New York Police Department came out to say we're not investigating. Now, y'all know when they come out to tell you we're not investigating, it quite rightly is the opposite, that they are secretly investigating, but they're going to make you calm and feel relaxed to think that they are not investigating you. Well, I am sure P. Diddy is not as dumb as it would appear, because they gave him enough time to clear his house or seriously clean house. Now, if he did not do that in that time, too bad. The next couple of months, it's going to be hell for him. And that's me putting it mildly. Let me put you up to speed. Cassie was one time in a relationship with P.Diddy. She was very young when she got into this relationship with him. Now, we thought it was a relationship that was mutually benefiting them, only for us to uncover all the heinous situation that Cassie seemingly dealt with whilst in that relationship. Now, in the aftermath of Cassie's revelation, there has been a number of lawsuits, women alleging they were assaulted in a vile manner, men even alleging they were assaulted in a vile manner, rumors of crimes that I really cannot speak on because I have no knowledge of these things. I'm just reporting what I hear or see on Instagram and on the news. And, it seemed like every other day there was a news about P. Diddy and another lawsuits and what's going to happen. And it has all come to a head in the last 48 hours where we saw DHS, Department of Homeland Security, raided his home. He was in there. They arrested or placed his kids in handcuffs, took them away, searched the property. We are now hearing from TMZ that a drug mule that is connected allegedly to P. Diddy has also been arrested. Not only that, a private jet linking P. Diddy was seen, on the traffic airspace heading towards Antigua or Bermuda or whatever, one of these countries. And no sooner had that private jet landed, it was grounded. Now, there were reports that it was P. Diddy on board and trying to flee the United States. Now, this particular private jet had made a few stops on its flight path. And whilst that particular news was breaking, there was a photo or a video that seemed to have captured P. Diddy at the Miami airport, wandering up and down. So we don't know exactly what is what. But it appears now that P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs wasn't on his private jet that landed in Bermuda or wherever it landed, somewhere in the Caribbean. And P. Diddy is still in the United States. However, not in the two homes. I think the home in Miami was raided by the DHS and another was raided by the DHS as well. And this is quite unfortunate. It just seems like this is the beginning of the end of Puff Daddy as we have come to know him. And, he's been partnered with a lot of businesses. Revolt TV, a university, Revolt TV now, we now have uncovered that he had sold, he stepped down early November of last year. And now we can now tell you that he had sold his shares and equities or whatever to a private anonymous buyer. So he no longer has anything to do with Revolt TV, which he co-founded, in the early 2013. This is breaking news, guys. We are only just scraping the surface of this particular unfolding story. I will, in fact, sit on it and keep coming here to update you with more information as I get it. What is the takeaway from this, you might ask? The takeaway is, quite frankly, Instagram, social media, celebrity, famous people have their hands dirty, and I'm alleging, okay? Those of us that are very poor, in debt, and seemingly feeling hopeless in our current circumstances and situation, just go. But the good thing is you go to sleep at night knowing there is no feds on your trail. You haven't done anything that would get the feds coming to knock on your door. your hands are clean and clear of heinous crimes, crime relating to DRUG, crime relating to human trafficking. And the caveat, if this particular story is a trigger for some of us, please contact Respect and Beyond Blue Australia, to seek counseling and guidance. I feel really sad that this is how we are going to rewrite this particular musical icon's legacy. And it is now shredded in dust, mud, and dirt. It is quite unfortunate for this guy. My mama, I think there's this adage that, has gone round. I'm not sure if you've heard it. And that is, the downfall of every man is actually sex. What is between the female's legs? Because all of the crimes that is now being allegedly filed or will be filed against this guy all stems from crime of a sexual nature. Sexual nature. I'm trying to be mindful of my audience and YouTube rules and regulations, guys. So you understand what I mean. And I don't know. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Sometimes you need to be able to have self-control. Power, we know and hear it corrupts absolutely. But in saying that, self-control is absolute. The ability to have discernment, self-control, boundaries, respect for other humans is in itself the wealth you actually need. Not the materialistic things you're chasing and the power tussle you're constantly fighting for and, killing people for. Not figuratively, okay? Or figuratively speaking, or whatever. While following this news, as if you're just joining us again, P.Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and I think in Miami was raided in the last 48 hours by the Department of Homeland Security. They are alleging crimes of sexual nature and human trafficking, as well as DRUG type trafficking crimes. It's unfolding. I will be updating you as it unfolds. And that's all I have to share today while I rush to my day job that pays me and keeps a roof over my head. With that said, guys, thank you so much for keeping up to speed with all that's happened. I'm going to be coming and recapping on the last episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. It packed the punch, and I am trying to find the words to put that particular episode together for you. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Be safe and remain